Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So these two teenage German girls got deported from Hawaii because they didn't because the border people in Hawaii said they didn't have an itinerary of where they were going to stay. I think they had some places, but they're going to play it fast and loose for like 5 weeks. That was the idea. I didn't know when people voted for Trump to clamp down on immigration, it was to keep hot teenage German girls out of the country. I don't think anybody voted for that.
I'd also.
Do you think that's what people?
Why would tourists even be a thing that you're cracking down on like that?
Well, here's the story. 2 German teenage girls were detained and deported. They were deported them from the United States after arriving in Hawaii without a hotel reservation. The case highlights how minor oversights can trigger severe immigration enforcement under President Donald Trump's aggressive border policies. International travelers faced increased scrutiny under Trump's administration's stringent immigration policies. So there's a lot of... So this is bigger news outside the country than it is inside the country. And I know there's lots of Canadians who are not coming here now because my governor, Governor Newsom, actually put a PSA, a commercial, trying to get Canadians to come back to please come visit California. It's not, by the way, not working. This case exemplifies how minor oversights can lead to severe consequences, raising concerns about the treatment of tourists and the potential detrimental effect on international travel to the United States. Maria Lepere and the Charlotte Pohl, both recent high school graduates from Rostock, Germany, embarked on a world tour, visiting countries like Thailand and New Zealand. Their journey took an unexpected turn when they arrived in Hawaii without pre-booked accommodations. Immigration officials suspecting potential unauthorized work intentions due to the lack of hotel reservations detained them. They arrived in Honolulu on March 18th, planning to spend 5 weeks exploring the islands before continuing to California and then Costa Rica following their graduate. So they're doing that thing. Europeans do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but did they have their own money or?
Yes, they had money. Yes, they had money. The duo spent several days in a detention facility before being deported, despite holding valid travel documents and having no prior infractions. The teens hadn't booked accommodations for their full stay in Hawaii. So it seems to me like they probably had an Airbnb here and there, but they didn't know they wanted to be able to travel freely and go whenever they wanted and stay as long as they wanted. If they liked a place, like, hey, we'll stay in Maui a little longer, then we'll go. So they didn't want to because that's how Europeans travel when they fresh out of high school. So they didn't have their entire itinerary booked, and that's what the Border Patrol said raised the. Even though both had valid travel authorizations through the Electronic System for Travel Authorization, or ESTA. So you have to get authorization to come to. So that's okay. They found it suspicious that we hadn't fully booked our accommodations for the entire 5 weeks in Hawaii. The teens said they were questioned for several hours at Honolulu Airport before allegedly being subjected to full body scans and strip searches. They were then dressed in green. They were then dressed in green prison uniforms and placed in a holding cell alongside long-term detainees, some reportedly facing serious criminal charges. The travelers said they had to sleep on thin, moldy mattresses and were cautioned by guards to avoid eating expired food. The following morning, they were told by officials that they would be deported. At the airport, they requested to be sent to Japan. It was all like a fever dream, Lepere says. The incident is not isolated, as reports indicate a rise in detentions of European tourists under the current U.S. administration, including the recent detention of 3 German nationals by border authorities under Trump's watch. Meanwhile, Germany has issued travel advisories warning its citizens about the threat of deportation under Trump's rule. The foreign ministry said that neither approval through the U.S. ESTA system nor the U.S. visa means people will be granted entry every time. Charlotte Pohl told Ostsee-Zeitung, We wanted to travel spontaneously, just like we did in Thailand and New Zealand. We were scanned with metal detectors. The whole body was scanned. We had to stand naked in front of the police officers and were looked through. Then we got green prison clothes and were put in a prison room with serious criminals. Germany's foreign ministry says on its website, neither a valid ESTA authorization nor a valid U.S. visa constitutes a right to entry into the United States. The final decision regarding entry is made by the U.S. border official. It is recommended that you bring proof of your return journey. For example, a flight booking upon entry.
So more than likely, that's some prick at the border that was playing like,
yeah,
Don Knotts from Mayberry, Well, how long you staying?
Really, high school? Well, we're afraid they're going to be doing illegal work here. Really, you could look at their passport. They were just in Thailand. They were just in wherever. They're going to go. I'm sure they had tickets to fly to Japan. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So again,
that border guard was a fat idiot with a mask. How much you want to bet?
How much? I'll tell you this. Again, this is a good way to ruin the goodwill of American people who largely support Trump's immigration crackdowns.
Well, if you voted against Trump and you resent him, wouldn't you try to do a bad job at the border to ruin it?
Oh, you think that's what that is?
Oh, look at it. These white girls are suspicious. I got to take them in. You don't think you would do that in a heavily Democrat, corrupt state-run
like
thing
Hawaii?
Where all the guards,
so you think
where they push people back in the fire?
Oh, so that's quite a theory you have there, Kurt. That the border
there's a ton of people like that.
That the border patrol person is trying to undermine the Trump administration.
Maybe not even that deep, but they just think like that, and they're like, "What? I'm just following orders. What?"
So that's
something is not the problem, but like, sorry, the law says we got to do it.
I'm just saying that there's more screw up like this happening, and I know for a fact people from Canada are not coming to the United States like they did. Hey, I have an urgent retirement warning. Even as Trump stands up to China, billionaires are fleeing Wall Street, including Warren Buffett, who dumped $133 billion in stocks. But I trust the experts at Colonial Metals to help you. So visit colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show or call 888-910-1419 for your free gold guide on how to bulletproof your IRA and 401k with gold tax-free. You could also qualify for a free home safe and as much as $7,500 in free silver. Once again, that's colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show or call 888-910-1419. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.